Hey guys, I wanted to invite you inside a minute. We're gonna walk through and I'm gonna share with you guys a little bit of meal prep action. Um, Over here we've got some cut up chicken, some steak, just basic seasonings. It's getting ready to go on the grill. I've got it heating up right now. Black pepper, garlic powder, and turmeric. I like to trim the fat and a little bit of the excess rib meat off. It's personal preference of mine. I don't like the way the texture of it, so it just works out for me to come out of there. I don't really cook with salt. It's my preference, but you know, we've got a little bit of Himalayan pink salt that she likes to use when she cooks on some things. Got broccoli. Now, I don't fully boil my broccoli. I don't cook it all the way through. I don't like soggy broccoli, but I also don't like raw broccoli. So kind of somewhere in the middle. So I boil it for just a little bit, just enough to turn it bright green, and then I put it in a strainer. I run cold water over it to stop it from continuing to cook. Over here we got some acorn squash with some coconut oil and a little bit of cinnamon. And she is prepping some salads for herself for the week. Got a little excess veggies over here. I'll be jumping in on that in a little bit. In the oven, we definitely have some sweet potatoes on top, diced up, a little bit of brown sugar on them. That's how I like them. We got fingerling potatoes over here. Down here, she has some whole sweet potatoes. That's her deal. She likes them whole. I like them chopped up. And we got some green beans. Now, everything's gonna cook for a little bit of while. That's part of meal prep. Is it takes a lot of time, but it's very important. Gonna come back after everything's done cooking, talk a little about piecing it together, and go over a couple more things. But I will see you guys in a bit. We got a little in-between action here. That's dinner. Pre-made. Now, each one of these, it's got about a cup of greens, which is broccoli and green beans. A little over a half cup of the sweet potatoes. I'll throw in the meat here in a minute after I cut it up and give it a little explanation. This is her meal prep. Just kind of sharing that little bit of fun. Now, as for counting macros and counting, you know, divvying out your portion size, I'm not a dietitian and I can't and won't describe to you what you should be. Yeah, these are just meals that I've set aside for, you know, my personal goals, things that I've took some time, figured out what my daily calorie intake need is, especially one that would fit for the goals that I've set. These are things you can find online pretty easy. Not all of them are exact, but they give you a good ballpark of what you're looking for. It only takes a couple minutes to kind of plan these things out. What does take time is taking time to figure out what your foods have. That's why they've got great apps that, like I use MyFitnessPal. You type in your stuff, and then once you've already got it in there, you can kind of pre-select it from a list that it makes for you. You know, it's got a barcode scanner for things like that. It makes it a lot easier. Helps you with portion sizes. Not to mention, it'll really let you know what you're eating. If you're eating enough, if you're not eating enough, you're eating too much, or if you're taking in too much of things you don't need. These are really good tools. Make it really easy to kind of get on top of your diet, because primarily that's gonna be it's gonna be a big role in planning out your meals and following your goals. So I'm gonna finish getting all this stuff ready, and we will wrap it up here soon. All right, so here's the finished product. This is a day's worth. It's not everything that I'll eat. You know, I'll make some eggs in the morning, maybe some oats, a little bit of berries. And evening, I'll probably have some eggs, a protein shake somewhere along the way, and even possibly a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Just depends on the day's activities. But, you know, it stacks up easy. I use these Isolator Fitness containers. These things are fantastic. They get 3 different sizes, and they're relatively inexpensive. You can freeze them, which is what I do with some of my further meals, because I don't like my food to start to taste bad. But, you know, this does take a little bit of time, so it's important to plan ahead and make sure that your food's not going to go bad before you get a chance to eat it. You know, this is just a little salad I threw together for like an in-between meal. Spinach, a little bit of tomato, there's some red bell pepper, cucumber, so a little bit of purple onion in there, and some fresh mozzarella. I'm going to put a small amount of balsamic vinaigrette and extra virgin olive oil mix that I make. It's just like maybe a teaspoon and a half max is about all I use. You can use more according to taste. Just kind of fits in whatever you're going to go with. A little bit more than a cup of meat here. Like I said, these are my fitness goals. These are the things that I'm working towards. These are things that I'll talk about in the future, but just taking a little bit of time to do this, it really helps keep yourself accountable, making sure that you're not snacking, making sure that you're getting your right amount of food. To take this serious because your diet is a major part of the entire process. Keeping on top of it is going to be important for weight loss, for staying energized, and for making sure you're building muscle and not fat. You guys, thanks for watching, and enjoy your work week.